Hey guys, it's come to our attention that this podcast is absolutely soaring up the charts lately. Just what number were we at? Did you catch the number?
I think we're ranked like 53rd in the whole world.
Whole world
at the moment.
You heard it first. Soaring, absolutely soaring. And we believe that is down to you guys coming on and following and leaving reviews. We've had a lot of great reviews, a lot of great feedback. Obviously 4 stars is all right. If you want to drop a 4-star review, like we're kind of there for it, but like Ratatouille did die.
He died
when he got 4 stars, and
we need 5.
we don't want to go down with him. So if you could leave a 5-star review, if you guys like this podcast,
thank you so
much appreciate. Oh, smack that into my mouth. That's right. Be much appreciated. And today we got a juicy one for you. Something we've been thinking about for quite some time, and we're keen to unravel it. And that is selling out of products online. So we're going to talk about it in a pretty broad sense. I think it covers, the whole of e-commerce. There's all different types of businesses and brands doing this. And we're going to go into the pros and the cons of this one. We're excited to break it down.
Let's do it.
Yeah, let's do it. So let's start with the pros. Always start with the positives first. As any wise person would tell you. Jess, what's a big pro that you've got down?
Big pro for me, Jack, when you tell everyone you've sold out of a run of clothes, a big marketing campaign, is the effect it creates in the community. Obviously, people get talking, people miss out, online and go, crap, that went really quick. And it creates this sense of excitement, this really internal buzz.
Sense of hype.
Definitely, sense of hype. So I think that's without a doubt the number one strength. It's a feeling. It's hard. I think we've all felt it. We've all jumped online. For me, whether it was the Yeezys, I'm not sure we're allowed to say that on this podcast. It's probably saw us back down the ranks if we said those types of words.
Kanye a bit, eh?
No, we can't. I don't mean to, but I don't. Never again. I missed out on those shoes. I forgot the brand name that guy used to sell. But so we've all had that sense of like It's like a raging feeling.
Yeah.
You had that?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, people obviously miss out. And then the people that get it, they probably feel like the product's a little bit more exclusive.
Definitely.
Because
bit of a winner.
There's less of them, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah. And we all know that feeling. It's like, your friends like, where'd you get those?
Yeah.
Like, whoa. Like, and then there's always that one rich kid that can like afford it even if misses out. But that's a whole nother episode.
Hate that kid.
Oh, well, we'll speak about him later. Anyway, moving forward.
Next one. You look bigger than what you are, or you can make your business seem bigger than what it is.
Definitely. I think that's what, kind of tying off the first strength. People are speaking about your brand. It looks like it's moving crazy. Everyone wants it. It's the latest and greatest thing. But Jack, I think this is the perfect time to jump into the cons, because we're starting to see a lot. My whole Instagram feed is just full of sold out in my face. And I don't know if the marketing's got much better, Jack, of these clothing campaigns, but I think the selling out has definitely increased.
100%. It's become extremely saturated, whether you want to call it a tool that people are starting to use. But yeah, it's become harder and harder to, I guess, read through the bullshit and kind of figure out who's legit, who is moving a lot of stock, and then who is just kind of, putting up a facade. And they might be, selling 20 products and...
it's a real buzzword.
Yeah,
man.
It is.
And it's not just the word sold out, it's limited release, it's, there's tons of ways to say it. And it's just
it's got this like new formed language around it now. Like people are starting to use all the same words and phrases.
It's just been done to death. Like you just see it and people aren't like, everyone's just saying the same old thing. And I think sadly it's tarnishing the brands that do sell out and that are selling out in 1 minute, hundreds, if not thousands of garments and doing incredibly well. They don't actually look like they're achieving the same level of success, which is kind of crap for those brands because they're really the ones moving the needle. But with that said, Jack, like you do see, in real life when go out to a busy public area, you see brands that actually sell out.
This is a great move, way to segue into like the transparency aspect of it. So obviously someone can say they're selling out, every drop, but then if you have never seen one of those garments, in say it's a Melbourne brand, you've never seen any of those garments in Melbourne, then you could probably come to the conclusion that there's a bit of mayo being put on, some of that language, or that they are selling out. But with the big brands, you are going to see, ultimately their product, in circulation, and so that's probably a good read on it. But yeah, I agree. It is tough because those bigger brands that have put in all that all that work to get to that point, it's definitely like tarnishing that for them a little bit.
And for those that don't know, it's one of the simplest things you could do. You jump on Shopify or any website and you jump in the back end and you just put a really limited amount of stock, or you just take off the stock at any moment you want. So it's like 2 or 3 buttons. It's not a complicated task whatsoever. Anyone could do it. You could YouTube it in 30 seconds and understand it. So that's the tough thing. It's, there's no pre-fixed setting in the back end on websites. You can literally manipulate it the way you want. So with that said, Jack, it's changing.
It is, yeah. And I think, it's good to note that we're not, this obviously sounded like we probably went into the cons a little bit deeper, and I think there probably are more cons these days, but we're not saying that it's a bad tool and you guys should never use it. Like, I think being a small brand, it's probably a great tool to experiment with, but you just don't want to be relying on that long term, because it's definitely not a long-term solution. It's great for building hype, like we said.
Especially if you're not selling out, it's like, I think if you actually are selling out, I'd keep marketing it, because the reality is people will see it in the public. They will speak to their friends about actually missing out, it'll be real. But if it's fake, and you have your stock on your website for like a month, and then the day after that month you go, it's all sold out. It's like, not really, you know what I mean? But yeah, it's just about transparency at the end of the day. And I think the customers nowadays, there's so many brands around that they value transparency almost above all else.
Yeah.
Similar to sustainability, it's really rising up the ranks.
It is, yep.
And those two words go hand in hand. If you're not telling your customers exactly how you're sourcing your garments, ensuring it's all fair trade, sustainable, organic cottons, those types of things. And then, of course, selling it in a manner that is above board, not just capping things to look like you're a big hype brand. I think people can sense the bullshit.
Yeah. Yeah, people are definitely starting to sense the bullshit. It's a good thing to keep in mind, if you are just starting a brand and that was the model maybe you were going to go with. It's just good to have it in the back of your mind of what potentially that could, lead to down the track. And yeah, you definitely don't want to rely on it. That's for sure.
Jack, I'm glad we hit the nail on the head with that one.
So am I.
Yeah, guys, thank you so much. We actually got asked that question in our Facebook community group. That's Color Plane Community Group. Jump in there on Facebook. It's an incredible group.
It is, yeah, it's great. It's been great, and we're getting a lot of interaction in there, a lot of questions that we're planning to address on this podcast moving forward. So if you're not in there already, jump in. We'll chuck the link up somewhere. Digby's good at that. And yeah, we hope to see you there.
Thanks, guys.